Welcome back to the channel. I'm coming back to you after a devastating Saturday. It's taken me a couple days to get over it. I'm still reeling on it and still in my emotions, so I'm trying to get past that. I know I haven't been doing that many videos, but it's kind of hard to find the energy after working all day and then trying to find energy to search and to do the research on these games. So I haven't really been doing that much, mostly just working and, coming home and resting. But I did watch a lot of football Saturday and, sorry, I just got a text message. I was looking at that on the phone. Yeah, anyways, coming back to Saturday, that game with Kentucky, I felt, I've been reading a lot of people talking about what they think happened in it, and it came down to, I think Ole Miss got too comfortable. They got the 4 wins, start the season, and everything was going great. They thought, another home game, Kentucky's gonna come to town, and we're gonna win and go back to the locker room and celebrate, and that's it. Instead, they got punched in the mouth, and Kentucky took their lunch money. Pretty much, that's all it is. And I know it came down to who made the play at the end, and was the field goal miss at the end. It could have went in overtime and went either way, but Kentucky controlled that game the entire time. Even when Ole Miss took the lead, they still wasn't in control of it. Kentucky controlled everything. They set the tempo. As soon as the first drive, when Kentucky slowed everything down and was running the time, just making small, slow gains down the field, I told my wife at that time, that's the kind of game Kentucky's wanting to play, to make it a physical, long, drawn-out game. Keep the offense on the sidelines, looking, watching the game. And then when they come in, they're off cue. They can't get in a rhythm they want because they just sit on the sidelines for 30 minutes watching the defense. I think they should have spread the defense off. I think they should have did more jet sweeps and trying to get the defense moving around. They should have got away from Trey Harris. They should have put the ball in the playmakers' hands. I watched the press conference with Lane Kiffin, and he's like, well, if I take it away from Trey Harris, who do you want me to put it? You just paid $30 million for the team. Put it in anybody's hands. The defense zeroed in that you feel that Jackson Dart feels comfortable with Trey Harris. He's going to have to change that. He's got to start making plays with other people, and you can't abandon the run game. I don't care if it ain't going the way it needs. They're wanting it to go. You can't in SEC play. You can't expect every play to be a 30-yard chunk play. You got to be nitty gritty and grind it out with them. You got to get the tight ends involved. You got to you got to keep your defense on the sideline resting too. You got to give them some breathers. So you want us to keep your offense out on the field. You want to make these long drives. You want to control the tempo, the outcome of the game. You don't want, I understand the benefits of the high tempo, but it also has some disadvantages too. And I think that they saw a lot of that on Saturday. I know going into South Carolina, that's going to be a hard game. It's not going to be easy. Juice Wells, that whole story. One thing I want to address, that Paul Fallbaum, or however you say his name, the bald-headed guy, he made the statement that Lane dropped that game on purpose, that's an exit strategy to get out of Ole Miss. I don't think that's the case. I mean, why would you recruit these guys? And he's friends with Presscorn's whole family. They come over to eat and stuff. Why would you ask all these guys to come back if you're just gonna ruin the rest of their career and throw a game? It don't make much sense to me. You could easily, if Lane Kiffin wants to leave, he don't have to make some big story up where he's hated by everyone. I will say this though. Lane Kiffin's asked for money for players, and the Grove Collective came together, and everybody came together and said, "How much do you need?" And they came up with that money and bought what he needed. He said, "I need bigger players, faster players to compete in SEC play." Check. He says, "I need the fans to show up." They had to sell out the highest that stadium's ever had. He's always complaining about them not staying 4 quarters. They stayed all 4 quarters and you still lost the game. So where's your explanation on that? If you're going to call the fans and all of us out, we're going to call you out. If you're going to say we need to stay 4 quarters, we stayed 4 quarters and you lost the ball game. And I'm not saying you're the one out there playing, but the play calling was straight garbage, man. Trey Harris, QB draw. You can't win SEC play like that. And it's just, I feel like they just think that they were going to roll, just coast through it. And I'm kind of glad they got hit in the mouth early, and I'm hoping they pull it back together, because I got real high hopes that they make the playoffs, and I really get to see my team in the playoffs before I die. I'm 39 now, so I got a few more years, but I don't know if I'll make it. But that's my thing on Lane Kiffin. You asked, if by some miracle you see this video, you asked for the money to get these players. You got it. Check. You asked for us to fill the stands. We filled the stands. Check. I mean, what do we asked you what you need to win at this level, and we gave it all to you. We gave you the keys to the key. Oh, no, all the coaches you brought in on salary too. You said you need analysts. You said you need strength and conditioning. You needed all this other stuff, and I'm not saying Ole Miss brought all of it in for you. And you drop your first SEC home game. I'm not saying this is it. Some other people are saying this is the end of the season. No, it's not. I mean, it's far from over. They could still lose another one and get in. That's not it just got a whole lot harder than what it had to be. Because if they would have won this game, they could have rolled into the Georgia game, and could have lost that one. But I'm going to tell you, I've been an Ole Miss fan my whole life, and Ole Miss never does it the easy way, ever, ever, ever. It's always the hard way. It's just the way this team is. It's always the hard way. And not only that, everybody's wanting to upset Ole Miss. Nobody likes seeing them top ranked team. That everybody hates seeing Ole Miss as a top ranked team. I don't know why. We've sit there and watched Georgia and Alabama be top ranked for years, and they deserve it. They deserve it. Well, I mean, maybe it's somebody else's turn for once, but anyways, I'm done with it. So I'm gonna get into Lane Kiffin. You asked for everything. I'm not saying you're a bad coach and you're playing. That statement by Paul Faulkner, I think that's far fetched. He don't need to make up some big story to leave. He can leave if he wants to. I mean, I don't really I guess it's good headlines. But going into South Carolina, Jackson Darts got to extend plays. I think he took a few hits early in this Kentucky game, and it got him scared. He was playing scared, it looked like. I know he got, they piled on him a few times, and I'm not the one out there getting hit, so I don't know how it feels. I can get behind that, but he took some hits, and you could tell he wasn't comfortable. His timing was off. Everything was off. The offense wasn't running smooth. And you can guarantee South Carolina watched that film, and they're going to be trying to emulate that come Saturday. And you're probably sitting there, if anybody's even watching this, they're probably wondering, well, I'm probably going to say South Carolina's going to win this game. I don't think they win this game. I think this was the get right. I think this was, as they say in the South, a come to Jesus meeting. it's not going to be easy as they thought. It's going to take hard work. They're going to have to grind it out. They're going to have to play this gritty, hard-nosed football that they thought they could just throw it 50 yards down the field to Trey Harris every time and win every game. And we always slap, and everybody can slap hands in the locker room. I think they're getting a real good dose of medicine. It ain't going to be like that. I've watched the one thing I'm kind of worried about this Lane. I was watching Lane's interview this morning. They were asking him, have you talked to the team about about this one loss and how that's the implications on the implications on the college football playoffs? And they were like, and his response, well, I had to address it with the team, and I told them that their hopes are still alive, that all that they've worked hard for can still come true. Maybe that's just how he phrased it, but why is it not what we strive for, what we as a team want, what I want? It's all about them and, singling out the players. Why is he didn't make it sound like he wanted it, is what I guess I'm trying to say. And I mean, it might just be me looking more into it than I should. And him just speaking while he's at the press conference or whatever. But I'm hoping that it's we and a team wanting to go this far, or I'm hoping Lane ain't just expecting, 8 wins and a bowl game nobody wants to watch. I mean, if you're going to spend $30 million on a team and the coaching staff, that all this you brought in, if it wasn't to win it all, what is it? What was it for? I mean, I know to expect you to win every game is far-fetched in college sports. It's just, I mean, Georgia just took a loss. Granted, it was against Alabama, but it's still a loss. It don't really matter. It's still a number beside them. I mean, it is what it is. But I don't know. If you brought even in your fall camp, you said you was having a lighter, easier fall camp, so it was easier on the guys. So what's your angle here? I mean, is it to make a deep run, or is it just to get your 9 wins and make a season and dip? I mean, I don't understand why you don't clear the air on all this on the internet about you leaving. I understand that take a lot of your time every time somebody talked about it to walk out there and say, "No, I'm here. I'm part of Ole Miss. This is where home is." I get that, but it wouldn't take you 30 seconds during a press conference to say, "I am an Ole Miss Rebel. I am here. This is my team, and we're going places." I just don't understand why you just won't say that. But I mean, maybe it's an agent thing where they, it would hurt his stock in the off season, but we'll see. I mean, another loss, if they lose to South Carolina, I mean, I guess technically they can go to the college playoffs, but your season don't get any easier from here. You go to LSU, you got to play Georgia, you got to play Oklahoma, you got to play Arkansas. I mean, all these are good teams. None of them are going to give it to you. And I'm hoping this is a bounce back. My biggest thing is Jackson Dart's got to get that dog mentality. He's got to extend plays. He's got to make things happen. Even when things fall apart, the O-line ain't there. Okay, extend the play. Either decide to run or throw it, or, whatever the case may be, you've got to make things happen. You just can't take a sack. And if I'm Lane, I'm getting Juice Wells involved a lot, not just to win the game. I mean, he's got some big catches in these little no-name schools we play, but in the bigger, now we're in SEC play. I mean, you imagine the publicity you get if Juice Wells has 20 catches and he goes off for so many yards. That's going to be on headlines everywhere. Why didn't he do this at South Carolina? Was he holding back? I mean, Ole Miss will be at the top of every headline if you do that. If you watch this, Lane, by some miracle, I would suggest getting Juice Wells involved Saturday somehow. I mean, and you got to go back to the run game. I mean, you got Watkins out there. Give him some targets. He was asking at your interview. Well, if I don't target, or what would you ask? If I take targets away from somebody, or if I give targets to certain people, who do I take them from? Take them away from Trey, or take them away from the QB draws you're doing. Take them away from that. And you gotta, besides Jackson Dart, you have to have a running back running it. And if Parrish and all them ain't, put Bentley in. Keep going back to you until you get something popping. I know that you like to get those big chunk plays, but in the SEC play, you gotta grind it out. You gotta give your defense some time. You gotta get some first downs. Get some momentum. You can't just get a touchdown in 3 drives. I mean, it's great, but your defense is right back out there. So those are some of the keys to the game. And South Carolina's going to try to emulate what Kentucky did to you. I can guarantee it. I think South Carolina is going to come with everything they got. They haven't released the Sellers plays yet. But if Sellers play this, and I don't know if I think it's Rocket Sanders, if he plays, that's something. I know he got banged up the last game, but he's had 2 weeks to recover. He might be back. I'm not sure. I haven't looked. I think they got till Wednesday to release the report. But I think the defensive line will be fine. The secondary's kind of got me scared, but South Carolina, I don't think that does much passing. They run a lot, so. And then we got to stop with all the penalties, and we got to come back down to earth and get everything under control. Like all this social media stuff with you going back and forth with Hugh Freeze, that's got to stop. When you're winning, that's fine, but when you start losing, you look like a clown. So stop all that stuff with the Hugh Freeze and all this crap. The basketball goal, all this. It's okay when you're winning, but when you're losing, it looks like you all look like clowns. Get back to the basics and win football games, and then you can start bringing all that out. And Kentucky came out there and took y'all's lunch money, plain and simple. Punched you in the mouth, came in your house on homecoming. Let me make myself clear. This is on homecoming. They beat y'all. It just leaves a bad taste in my mouth. Ole Miss has never been good at 11 a.m. games. Some of that's it, but you got to have your team ready. Before the game, you're out there, some of this is not out of your control. It's on your agent or whatever. But you're out there with ESPN just shooting the bull. Instead of getting your team ready, you're so worried about all this other stuff. And this is what comes with being the top-ranked team. And you say it all the time, rat boys and rat boys. Well, you just took a big dose of it. And look what happened to y'all. Y'all got to get back to the basics. All these interviews with Jackson Dart about, I got a natty in the back of my mind. Well, show it. I mean, y'all got to cut all this out and get back to the fundamentals and get things right. Get the tight ends involved. Get all these big names that you had to have. Get all of them involved. If we didn't bring them from right now, what did we bring them for? For them to sit on the sidelines? Let's get this thing popping. We got too many big names to let them sit over on the sidelines and watch the game. I mean, they could have bought their ticket and made the campus some money if you weren't going to play them. But that's my thoughts. You got to get all these. You can't just have Trey Harris. You got to get this whole offense popping if you want to win this game. I'm hoping they say that, and I hope they do, and I hope they right the ship because it ain't going to get any easier. But I'm going to tell you this: Ole Miss never makes it easy. Never, ever, ever, and never will. I was wanting to show y'all something. Let me see if my computer will come back up. The TV might have cut off. Hold on. Alright, here it goes. Sorry for this. Why is it not? Oh, there it goes. Oh, crap, it moved. Right here. Okay. Let's see. This one's, I don't know why it keeps saying. The line opened at 11.5 as a road, as coming off a loss on the road. So that's crazy, man. 10 points. Look, 89% of the money is on South Carolina, 11% on Ole Miss. There's a lot of money coming in on South Carolina. I'm telling you, Ole Miss probably going to have a get right. I know it's going to change a lot between now and then, but Ole Miss will have a lot get right. And look, and the numbers start off at 11, steadily coming down. It's probably going to be around 7 by kickoff. But Ole Miss doing a roll in this game. I feel like if they get beat, I mean, it's going to be a rough season. I really don't like what Georgia's doing. I can't believe they're giving Auburn's taking. Everybody's on Auburn. Wow, that's a new one. But anyway, going back to Ole Miss. I hope I hope we have a get right game, because not only do they need to win, they need to dominate it from the whole aspect of the game to show everybody that they're here and that this is the team they are, because the team they show Saturday is not. I mean, I don't even want to talk about the playoffs, because what would they do in the playoff? They wouldn't even win the first game. They're not on the same page as Georgia or Alabama right now, or some of the bigger schools out there. Hell, Miami probably beat them. But definitely not Tennessee. Tennessee's looking real good right now. But I hope this is a get right spot. I think Ole Miss comes out and they show us what team they are. And I hope I have a different conversation with y'all next week. But that's all I got. I'll see y'all on the next one. Hotty toddy. And I hope Ole Miss has a get right game Saturday. See y'all next time.